Just put that. Turn the TV on.
On the back end, they all celebrate the Christian nature of that guy. He is a true Chicago Bear. He and Kyler Gordon on the other side. The slot corner lays outside, but those two guys are going to have a lot to do with the outcome of this one.
Third and 7 here. We've seen a couple of snaps now, Chris, with Jones and Dillon in the backfield, getting your best players, your best 11 out there. Here's goes quick here. And over the middle of his class, the first down is Allen Lazard. Returns, didn't play against Minnesota with the ankle injury. Off a good season last season, and he keeps his drive going.
This is how good the Packers can be. Play is one more coverage and bring the safety down inside. That is meant to take away that very route right there. Eddie Jackson just a half step late getting there. You can see Gordon stepping to the outside and fighting that inside route. But the Packers still win.
First down from the 28. 18. Back to Dillon. He'll sneak his way to the right and won't get much. The Bears defense is all over that. Gordon up from his corner spot to come in and make the stop.
I think the Bears
Can I do the rest?
The newspapers all week long.
I don't know what you're doing, but can I do the rest?
Greenbay Packers, right? We got to get back to our running game.
Can I do the rest?
AJ Dillon doing all that. So they're going on first down, single high, man to man. They've got no problem. They figured out they have to take away this run.
You're supposed to do new ones. New ones, not copying of other ones. I always do new ones. Let me do it, please. They do a lot of words, you know. Remember? Just do like long ones. Remember that?
So many times the center has to really try and work hard to reach to get to the outside. That time you're going to see Flanagan just jump right around Josh Myers in the back door and make the play. They're playing both these running backs at the same time. Like Gillen and Aaron Jones quite a bit. Using Aaron Jones flanked out, as you can see.
Very telling to me.
Fields waits. This is the ninth play of this drive. 5 runs,
Set the stream up.
3 passes. The rate of Cox on the field for Rodgers on 3rd and 10. Skates and walks it on the catch. Jones. The Bears skates and walks it on the catch. Is one out complete the catch at the 13-yard line. Yeah, Rodgers quick, incomplete. Trying to connect with Romeo Dobbs, and that's some of the communication with the young receivers where the trust has to develop.
Yeah, and Aaron was trying to save Dobbs' life on that one. He saw that this corner was coming up here, and he goes, like, I'm going to back shoulder this thing till you turn around. But that's it, Mike. I mean, you saw it time after time in the game last week. It was Aaron holding the ball a little longer. He's one of the great anticipate throwers that there is, you know. But in that game, you could just see he was waiting to make sure those young guys were doing what he thought they were going to do.
Play 11 of the opening drive. A 3-man rush. Rodgers end zone. Break it up by Tyler Gordon. A second-round pick out of Washington. Being tested early and coming up on this opening drive.
They scored a whole bunch of touchdowns like that. It looked like Gordon was in trouble. Lazard had him off the line of scrimmage, had a half a step, and then
Sammy Washington wide open.
A play, and sometimes when you get young athletic guys like Gordon, they can overcome early mistakes.
So now 30-50.
You're offside, bro. The dude on all the way to the right, he's offside. See him on the bottom?
Rodgers with some time. Pocket collapsing. He's thrown down. Set by Travis Gibson. So the Bears get there with their pass rush and will force a Green Bay field goal attempt after the long opening drive.
Wow, you don't see Aaron Rodgers miss one very often, but that time Romeo Dobbs going to come right into the middle of the field right here and would have had the first down, I believe, if he had come back to that look. Slips and falls down, but Aaron's good enough to hit him when he was on the backside.
Description on tag.
So Mason Crosby, who struggled last year,
You got this.
a 40-yard field goal attempt here. Man scored the most points in Packer history.
What you mean? I tell you every single time. Every single time.
Stop after Rodgers took the Packers into the red zone. They come away with 3. Monday Night Football brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey. By BetMGM with Payne Sportsbooks. Please gamble responsibly. And by Modelo. Root for full-time fans with a fighting spirit. Look at this rivalry through the years. A game in the rain in 2015, and of course, a 2018 memorable Sunday night game where Rodgers was carted off in the first half, came back, and led a huge comeback. Randall Cobb got the touchdown to win the game. They've had some moments over the years.
We've seen a lot of them, too.
Causing a line drive kickoff. Justin Edler will take it from a yard deep. They're across the 20 and brought down the 29-yard line. That's where the Chicago offense will get going.
Justin Fields, The Ohio State University. David Montgomery, Iowa State. Darnell Mooney, Tulane. Equinemius St. Brown, Notre Dame. Byron Pringle, Kansas State.
Wow.
Colton Matt, Notre Dame.
Preston Jones, Southern Utah.
Cody Whitehair, Kansas State.
Sam Mustipher, Notre Dame.
Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State. Larry Bourne, Missouri. Bourne, the right tackle, is in his second year. The left tackle, Braxton Jones, a rookie taken in the 5th round. Protecting Justin Fields. Brad started with 29. He moves ahead to David Montgomery. Carried it a lot, not for many yards last week in the rain. And a gain of 4. So, for Fields, this is his 12th career start. 3 of them coming in this rivalry against the Packers. See his career numbers there. He's only 8 of 17 in the rain last week. The 11th pick in the 2021 draft out of Ohio State. Became starter week 3 last year. He's the starter from the get-go for that Eagles this year.
The throws he did get last week were big plays.
And affords Montgomery again sifting through into the secondary. Montgomery. He was let go to the 45-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, game. Yeah, the game.
Yeah, and these guys are coming out playing the run. A little
Sorry,
bit in front,
dude.
right? In front of the Chicago Bears. Why not? Nice cut back here by David Montgomery and a late block on the outside. to spring him. But for David Montgomery, that's the first time he's been in the free space to do a little running this entire season. Last week was tough.
17 carries, 26 yards is not David Montgomery type numbers. Had 1,000 yards a couple of seasons ago. The 45 field mishandles the snap. A botched play gets nothing. Jaron Reed, new addition to this Green Bay defense this year, was there to swallow him up.
Let's take a look at this one. That was a play in which Sam Mustipher, the center, had to pull hard to his right. And sometimes when that happens, the ball doesn't quite get to the same location because you're kind of snapping on the move. Justin Fields with an early roll of the eyes.
Play clock running down. Fields needed to play again. But it's an 8. You can't send in a play through the headset at this point. So the Bears are going to take a timeout.
First timeout. Chicago.
Communication from the sideline cuts out of 15 seconds into the QB's helmet. Timeout, Bears.
Come on. Be right back.
Three squads, 3 hours, one case. Law and Order premiere event Thursday, 8, 7 Central on NBC and streaming the next day on Peacock. It's the courthouse here in Brown County. Like everything else, it's been around for a while. Here since 1910. Out of the Chicago timeout, it's 2nd and 10. Montgomery back to Fields, who throws the intermediate route and is caught by Equinemius St. Brown, the former Packer on the run. To the 25-yard line, gain of 30 for Chicago.
Beautiful job here. They're executing plays that they know they're going to have to try and trick the Packers to win this game just a bit tonight, but why not? Come out, why not throw a Packer right at him early on? Equinemius comes out, good catch, good run, and here go the Bears. These guys are confident. They're so young, I don't know that they know any better.
Somebody shut down the St. Brown brothers. His brother Amon had a great
Turn it up. Turn it up, nigga.
full first down run of 13 for David Montgomery. And the Bears look good on the opening drive.
Well, they sure do, don't they? And come in with the fullback this time, get a good crack back block that time by Equinemius St. Brown and going right to the line of scrimmage.
From the 12, here's Montgomery bouncing to the outside. Good move. He feels freed up after last week's defining game. Montgomery has it inside the 5 at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and they're playing this Bears defense down inside, and so that
Packers to win this game just a bit away, but not
kind of get pinned inside, and they're starting to go off tackle. It's a really impressive drive here by the Chicago Bears.
first play at 2nd and 3.
I'm telling you, they
Carter
really
throw for his first
did
time today.
really well this game.
One more rushing yards than last week already for Montgomery.
Never were in the red zone last week once.
For the touchdown. Justin Fields takes care of it himself, and the Bears score first.
The Bears, look at this. Justin Fields, a quarterback tank coming out here on the edge. And if you're a defensive back, you really don't want a whole lot of this guy when he gets up ahead of steam. Good job by Montgomery out there as well. But the Bears are fired up. You know, anytime you come out and win that first game of the season, a young team, you don't know.
I know the preseason means less than ever. They won all their preseason games. They just started to believe in this rebuild. A lot of young guys on this team. Santos to the extra point, missed 2 in the slot at Soldier Field last week. That's how it ended. Well, they are the baby Bears. He's the leader of the bunch. His second year.
A little break real quick.
Here in Greenbay, he's on the opposite sideline the last few seasons, and Justin Fields has said Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback to watch over the years, because he was 9 when Rodgers got the Packers starting job. Now he's watching him in a different way to learn because the offense is similar. Touchback. Packers will take over deep in their own territory. Matt Eberflus taking over the Bears. Who is he? Somewhat anonymous, maybe. He's 52 years old. He was a good linebacker at Toledo. Played for Nick Saban, actually, for a year at Toledo. And then had a long and successful college coaching career. When he jumped to the NFL, he was working with the linebackers, with the Browns, then the Cowboys.
So the Walmart, right?
Garrett for a little bit. He was in Indianapolis for the last 4 years as the defensive coordinator for the Colts. Widely respected,
Nah,
interviewed
too
for
late.
3 jobs a couple of years
Too
ago.
late.
2, Jacksonville and Chicago, coming in to this season. He's the new Bears head coach. Rodgers starts at 25. It is a run of 6 yards. That carry for A.J. Dillon. Chris, give me a sense of Eberflus. We sat with him for a good while last night.
Too late.
Yeah, I like him. I've known him for a long time, and he wants to engage their mind, their body, and their spirit. And he's known for never walking into the meeting room with notes. He walks in and he just looks at them and he talks to them. And it's kind of cool, right? Of course, I was looking down, writing at my piece of paper, so I put down my pen and look up at the guy when he was saying this. But yeah, he gets their attention and they believe.
Dillon the run against the Eberflus defense here for a first down to the 36-yard line. Alyssa?
Mike, I talked to Colts 3-time All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard, who spent 4 years with Matt Eberflus as his defensive coordinator in Indianapolis. He credits Eberflus with making him the player he is today. He said he knows exactly how to motivate players. A perfect example, if Eberflus knew a player on the opposing team was drafted higher than Leonard, he would simply whisper it in his ear before a game, knowing how much he would feed off of it.
Well, he's finding a way to connect with these young players and get them to believe for sure here in Chicago. First down for the Packers. Both running backs on the field here as Rodgers throws.
How you missed that throw?
The guy that wide open is missed by Aaron. A.J.
How?
Was the intended target.
Ain't nobody
Yeah,
so
but I
far.
gotta think that Aaron Rodgers, is going to start hitting those, but also is going to start feeling really comfortable in the pocket because already we're starting to see Elton Jenkins on the outside at that right tackle position being able to take his. And when you have a tackle that can block one guy and help with the other side of the line, that just makes such a difference. So Rodgers not going to miss many of those.
3 of 7 to open thus far. 2nd and 10. He scans, looks to escape. Rodgers has some space. A flag is down on the opposite side of the field. As Rodgers is chased out of bounds by Nicholas Morrow, the linebacker for the Bears. Flag came over on the near side, away from the play where Alan Lazard was trying to get free.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 9. That's a 5-yard penalty at the end of the play.
That's the rookie.
Automatic.
And if you're coming out of college football, this has to be the most frustrating rule. Right here, number 9, you're going to see him grab, tongue in there, just a little bit, but it's the contact. And Mike, it's been beat into our heads this year. They are going to enforce that. They believe the NFL is a game of scoring points. They're going to give certain advantages to the offensive unit, and that's a big one.
2 options. The second one looked like there was illegal contact. They took one. It's a little pitch pass to Christian Watson in his hands early. Watson hit hard on the sideline as he fights for the first down. Jalen Johnson with the tackle. So Christian Watson at North Dakota State, 2nd-round pick for the Packers. He dropped that 75-yard would-be touchdown on the very first play of the game last week in Minneapolis.
But this is smart, right? This counts as a catch. It counts as a completion. He's going to take a big hit at the end. And then look at Jalen Johnson. Just pay attention to the Chicago Bears, and in particular, Jalen Johnson trying to punch that ball out. But Watson, get the ball in his hands. He's young. Let him relax. Put a reception on the record book. Yeah, it's right there.
2nd and 1 to run with Jones to the right side. Tyler Gordon very busy in this opening quarter. Tackles him after the first down is gained. The 38-yard line. Alan Lazard at the end of that play. A little hot pass to Watson. It came off slow. Remember, he missed week 1 with an ankle injury. Over there on the sideline with Matt LaFleur.
It was interesting talking with Roquan Smith, and we asked him about the 2 backs of the Packers, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. He goes, Dillon's bigger, but Aaron Jones runs harder. And you can see it play after play. That guy wants the football in his hands, especially after last week.
Was the back now, fake to him. Rodgers over the middle. It's caught
Look at Sammy Watkins.
into the red zone to the 14-yard line. 2nd catch for the veteran Watkins. 24.
Okay, Watkins.
See a little Hop step right there off the back foot, but that time it was the young guy, Kyler Gordon. They got him for a nice run on the first one. Come right back, play action. You can see number 6 take that half step up, and Sammy Watkins take about 10 steps forward.
Packers trying to respond to the Bears touchdown. 14, Dillon trying to get over to the right. It all stopped up. Nicholas Morrow's that linebacker next to Roquan Smith. He's a new addition to the Bears. One of the many new additions on the Chicago team. You know, the old line, you got to buy a program to know who's playing. I guess in these days you got to download it off the phone or something. But man, it's hard to figure out who these guys are. So many are new to Chicago.
Yeah, but it is going to be exciting. They got a lot of free agents that were relatively low priced, right? Al-Quadin Muhammad, Justin Jones, Nicholas Morrow. All those guys are good football players, and now they're starting to show up.
Let's just try to draw them off. After one, Bears 7, Packers 3. Sunday Night Football continues from Green Bay after these messages.
I unmuted it.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. By Tarico Chris Collinsworth. Melissa started with you from Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's a great area. They built up right across the street from the stadium. The winter, you can go down that nice hill and sled and do all that fun stuff. I'd rather be here in December, to be very honest with you. No, not you. Come on, man. Packers Bears. Shouldn't we be cold?
I went jogging 2 times on this trip.
Let's see what the Bears got.
All right, second quarter begins, just the third drive of the game. Teams have scored on their opening drive. Let's see, Lazard, who went out a couple of plays to go back in. 2nd and 11, just pitched it to the end.
Touchdown, Packers. Yeah, I'll do it fast for you. I said, yeah, I'll do it fast for you.
How do you do it first?
Lazard going to come down bad ankle or not. Can take care of this crackback block, and it was a good one. Then out in front was the center, Josh Myers, beautifully executed.
with the impact extra point added by Mason Crosby. We'll check on the official scoring. Initially, that has been ruled a pass, but I think they're going to change that back to a run. It looked like that was backwards. Fantasy football fans, that matters. In any case, Rodgers with a touchdown, getting it to Jones, and Greenbay takes the lead 10-7.
You know what you're talking about.
Start to this one, everybody. Scoring here. And the franchise quarterback, the guy who stands for Canada, whose name will be up here forever at Lambeau whenever he steps away. But they haven't gotten him a first-round talent. Now, he's had some great players, Chris. Some of it his doing, he's made them, but that's been the question, the cast surrounding Aaron Rodgers. This kickoff will be returned from a yard deep, and Edner just get to the 20-yard line. Isaiah McDuffie with the tackle.
Like, I think it's a little bit of the curse of greatness, right? When you have a player like Aaron Rodgers over there, and he's taking a good chunk of the salary cap, let's say that too. But you feel like you could put second, third rounders around him, and he's going to have success. On the defensive side, they have some expensive players. 5 of their top 7 paid players are on the defensive side of the ball, and they need to pick it up just a bit this year.
It's not knocking the draft. They're drafting the defensive side from some rookie.
Correct.
Jones takes over from the 20.
Oh, sack! Fumble! Fields got sacked and fumbled.
Down with a sack. So no fumble and the recovery, but the pressure coming from Preston Smith off the edge for the sack. The 15-yard line, second down.
Hey.
Great job by Preston Smith. Really, the pressure came from the other side, and then he was able to run the full circle and run down Justin Fields so hard when that contact comes.
Why would you have to go in?
And you just never see it close, but good job by Fields. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Second and 15, Darnell Mooney is the move man. He's got the ball on the run, and he goes down for a loss. Rasul Douglas comes up from his nickel spot to make the stop.
Rasul Douglas, so impressive a season ago. He ends up with 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. So how they reward him? They put him in the slot, something he's never really done, and he has been terrific at it so far. Sometimes you need veteran players to play somewhere they're not so comfortable. Douglas has been knocking it out.
3rd and 19. There's no ball on the play. Second out. There's no
The second, how about the game that Gibson?
second and 28. So to the edge it goes, and Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
Dobbs with a 22-yard line, fourth round pick out of Nevada. And one of those rookies being counted on to fill in at the wide receiver spot.
Well, look at all the big dogs getting out in front of that play. As soon as that ball was thrown, there were 4 offensive linemen scooting out in front and really made some nice blocks. But you're seeing some of the elusiveness of Romeo Dobbs. They can compare some of his release moves to Devontae Adams, and that's as high a praise as you can give. He is some athlete.
Guys in camp here for the Packers. 8-20 sets up third and 8. And Rodgers across the middle, caught by Cobb for the first down. At the 13-yard line, so the Packers driven back, take second and 28 to first down in the red zone in 2 plays.
A lot of people don't know that Aaron Rodgers likes to play darts in the quarterback room. You're going to get a look at one here. Flank him out. He knows he's got Roquan Smith one-on-one. Nice move. Little sidearm dart in there for the first down. So first down at 20, doesn't matter.
See that route you just seen. Randall Cobb gets Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron can trust him. 13. Gets Dillon on the edge. Cut back by Dillon inside the 10. The all-time leading rusher in Boston College history. As at the 9 as we approach 5 minutes till halftime. The Pack up 3.
There's a handful of people in the league I would not want to tackle. That's one of them right there. About 250 pounds worth of man, and he's sort of the ultimate closer. You know what I mean? When you're at the end of the game, and all of a sudden they're up a touchdown, and they want to go into that 4-minute drill, and here comes 250 pounds, and sometimes you make those business decisions when you're playing defensive back.
His nickname is Quadzilla. Says it all. Those quads, massive. From the 9 to 10, Jones coming early to the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.